Today we're going to talk about the perfect trade. Stay tuned, traders. We'll be right back. G'day traders, I'm Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. Today we're going to be talking about the perfect trade. The perfect trade for whatever your trading system is. I listened to an interview, one of the webinars that I follow. I listened to the mentor talking about them, how they build their playbook with their traders, and how they focus on eliminating out the poorer quality trades and how they narrow that down to the traders are trained very similar, different strategies, but every trader personalizes their own trading system. And within that, inherently, the goal is to find and identify the highest possibility trade setups and review them, study them, archive them, playbook them. We talk about this in the 7-step daily routine. I learned this from Mike Bellafiore, One Good Trade, the playbook. Building the playbook is one of the most critical things you can do as a trader. So in doing so, when you add that perfect trade category to your playbook, what that means is that at the end of each trading session or the beginning of the next day, if you're end of day trading, whatever that is, identifying the highest, most successful trades from the previous day, the previous week, whatever they may be, and then building your playbook in that perfect trade category. So obviously that's separate from your trades and also your best trades, but it's about identifying the best trades that happened that you might not have seen or not taken. And the purpose of that is so that you can start to look at what criteria those perfect trades adhered to. Now, I've heard people say, well, yeah, but you don't know which trades are going to be perfect. It's all random and all that sort of thing. But the point of that is that when you start to narrow that down and really understand, like Mike Bellafiore talked about this, he said, we want to narrow the best trades that you've ever had, the ones that have gone and given you whatever, 5 to 1, 10 to 1. There's been no stress against that position. They've just successfully moved from point A to point B, hit your target, no problems at all. You have to identify what factors precipitated that event happening. Was there an end of day setup? So we just talk about building a criteria list that, what does it look like? Well, I know what my perfect trade setups look like. And I built that into my playbook because they happen every single week, and inherently 90% of the time there's a perfect trade every single day. Now I use the opening range primarily to identify my best trade setups. Now what's important about that is understanding, especially as a retail trader, I'm trying to trade less but actually increase size on my best A trade setups. So the ones that I know in the past I've had the best success with, so instead of trying to trade different ones and trade every day, what I'm really focused in on is that 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4 perfect trades that happen in a week, but I can increase size, I can identify and predefine my risk, I have an asymmetrical risk reward opportunity, and all 3 of my time frames that I trade end up inherently lining up when that signal presents. That's my best trade setup. That's the perfect trade. So far it's a Wednesday here. I've had 3 days where I've been able to archive those. Now I haven't hit all those trades, but I know that I'm going to get 1 or 2 perfect trades this week. And the point of that is that the reticular activating system is part of our brain that we use. It's like when you go out and you buy a certain car, all of a sudden you start seeing those cars everywhere. It's about training your brain to focus on the highest, best trade setups. And now I know in the past part of my downfall when I've blown up some small trading accounts is that it's because of random trade selection and not sticking to really high priority trades that I've been able to develop or narrow down, through not only looking at the economic calendar, looking at the opening range, looking at that hourly opening range in Asia and into London, and then looking at the 5-minute and making sure that aligns with my trade setups with Asia close, London open. In most cases it can happen earlier, but that's my perfect trade setup. So I want to know, for your perfect trade setup, what does it look like? Do you have filters to help you identify those? So I talk about using end-of-day scans on my Metastock to help me identify certain types of trading days and also certain things after the first couple of days have traded, Monday and Tuesday especially. Time frames. Which instruments? So for me, time frames daily, 1 hour, 5 minute. Instruments, I stick with mainly the 8 or 9 major pairs. That's just in the pound yen, euro yen crosses. The reason why that is I know for me, there are other instruments that have given me trades in the past, but I know that those will, all out of those 8 pairs, I'm going to get 1 or 2 really perfect trade setups for my criteria every single week. I already know that, so I don't need to follow more. Now, I was trading more with my end-of-day strategy, but I'm really concerned now with just narrowing down my focus and increasing size on the trades that make the most sense to me. But there's no point in me trying to take more trades if my strategy starts to have a fairly consistent success rate. Now again, we're just talking about your perfect trade setup. So I know which instruments I'm going to take. I know what my risk is on those trade setups. So I can predefine that with 1 bar. Usually it's going to be the maximum of 1 hourly ATR at the most. I already know that. And when I go down to the 5 minute, I can get that even tighter. Trade management. When do you go to break even? Where's your profit target? What's your risk reward on that setup? Is there a time decay factor? If the trade hasn't hit your target, if you're at break even, do you stay in the trade? Do you get out? Do you keep it overnight? Do you keep it for a few days? What's the criteria when you go into that trade? Don't go in on an hourly trade signal and then say that it's an end-of-day trade. Now, sometimes my trades are lined up with end-of-day, so I may be in a trade ideally for 2 or 3 days if it really takes off. Profit targets, exits, what are they based on? Do you have some methodology to determine your risk reward? And again, if you're trading intraday, do you exit if it goes into the next trading session? Do you stay in that trade? Is it purely a technical based exit? What are your criteria? And again, go back and look at your perfect trades. Now obviously every trade is going to be random in terms of how it plays out, but there will be certain precipitating factors, whether it's price action, whether it's time decay, whatever that is. What is the simplest way for you to be able to identify those perfect type trade setups when they appear? Now obviously we can't control the outcome. What we can control is how much we're going to lose on a trade, how much we can potentially gain. But when we get the perfect trade setups, the more and more you start to really narrow down your focus to look for those highest possibility trades, the more likely you're going to start to see a bit more consistency, especially if it's simple and you can duplicate that over and over again, but also hopefully consistency in your trading results as well. So hopefully you got some value from today's video, traders. Again, if you haven't done so, go to my homepage, get my 7-step daily routine for high performance traders. Mike Bellafiore says it every time, how good can we get? So focus on constant progress, stay disciplined, and keep getting better. Have a great trading week. Hi traders, it's Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. If you haven't done so, please head over to my website at staceyburketrading.com. I create updates on almost a daily basis and I would love for you to receive them. Just click on the blog. If you want to enter your name and your email address, I'll send you my free audio program, the 7-Step Daily Routine for High Performance Traders. This is essential knowledge for all traders in all markets, and this is for helping traders to master the market with discipline, confidence, and a winning mindset. I appreciate all your feedback and comments. As always, traders, stay disciplined and may the markets go with you.